The Arran Mall started life in the late 1960s as the Dalblair Arcade and was built on the site of the Hotel Dalblair, which was previously Dalblair House, and this was demolished in 1967. The arcade opened around the start of the retail boom, which Ayr was to enjoy for the next few decades, and it was well loved by locals for its cafes and shops. One side of the arcade consisted of a number of small, flat-roofed, glass-fronted retail units, which formed an L shape that wrapped around the back of Hourstons Department Store, which had also been known as Arnott's, which could also be accessed from the arcade. The rear of the arcade backed onto a large car park off Dalblair Road. It was renamed the Arran Mall in 1997, and it continued to be a success well into the late 2010s. Its strength was that it formed a link between the Dalblair Road car park and the busy Alloway Street, making it a perfect way for shoppers to drive into town, park up, and walk to the high street through the mall, whilst also visiting shops and cafes on the way, and often also Hourstons, which fronted onto Alloway Street. The arcade itself was a place to escape from the busy main street and featured pleasant, well-lit areas to sit, with a glass roof to protect shoppers from the western Scottish weather. Sadly, it was to meet its demise in the early 2020s when it was purchased along with Hourstons by the local council, with notice being served on the tenants, many of whom were angry at the time about being turfed out of units which had relatively low business rates compared to those on the main streets. Some relocated elsewhere in the town, while others closed up for good and left, exacerbating the already rapid decline of retail in Ayr. The plan at the time was to demolish the mall and much of the Hourstons building and build a new leisure centre on the site to replace the ailing Citadel Leisure Centre near the harbour. This plan was regarded by some at the time as being overambitious and misguided, especially following COVID, with leisure budgets already being stretched, and it was eventually scrapped after the council changed colour in the 2022 local elections. Following a feasibility study, it was decided instead to build a living well village on the site, featuring retirement flats and associated facilities, which again would involve total demolition of the Arran Mall and much of Hourstons. By this point, the mall was mostly devoid of tenants and was suffering from decay and vandalism. Once the final tenant, the designer rooms, moved out in 2023, the gates of the mall were locked and it was left to await the bulldozers. In late 2025, it was announced that the Living Well Village plans were also being scrapped due to lack of funding. Demolition of the Arran Mall started in late February 2026, shortly after this video was recorded, and was planned to last around 6 months. Future plans are currently unknown, but the council has stated that the demolition of the rear of Hourstons is also still on the cards, and it's expected that this will happen after the mall has been cleared. The most likely outcome for the site is probably a car park and/or residential flats, as it's the only thing that's really in demand in that part of the town nowadays. Keep watching, as this video doesn't only look at the Arran Mall, but also has a look inside the Hourstons Department Store itself. Another shop. Don't know what this one was. Again, bare and empty. Office space. Isn't much exciting here. This is surprisingly a lot more open than expected.
That's opticians. There's a beep at the back there. Maybe just leave this one beat. Caledonian roofing. Hourstons. French bakery. Designer rooms. This was the last unit to close. Let's get a picking of it. Picking up here. This is the back of the mall. Not sure if I can be bothered with this. Let's go for a look anyway. We're here, aren't we? Smoke alarm beeping. Just be a bit circumspect with my torch because I've got near the car park here. So this place sold furniture. We've got a few branches. Reindeershire. Something else beeping. I think it's just the smoke alarm. And something else beeping. Maybe I'm triggering PIRs. This place seemed to permanently have a sale on the go. It's interesting. It's almost like they've set up a little room as a display. Maybe it was an office, staff office of some kind. Kitchen. That's nice. All the different types of glassware. That's quite cool. Toilet, fire door. That's a cool old padlock, that. I don't see many of them. These doors are all barricaded from the outside, incidentally. This is quite good. I don't think I ever visited this shop when it was open. What's beeping? So this old carbon monoxide alarm in here, I guess in the boiler. That's amazing, it's still here. Copper's all gone now. That's the thing, modern boilers probably don't have much copper in them. This is expensive. All sales are fine on. No refunds, no exchanges. Toilet again. So all this will be gone soon. It's a narrow little corridor, this. Electrical panel. I'm guessing we had a little display set up in these booths. Yeah, cool. Designer rooms. Picture of that window. That's quite nice. I'm just a little bit wary of how easy it was to walk in here. This mall, it's hopefully I will be alone. Aye, what a shame. Get a picture of the French bakery. They did quite good sandwiches in there. This little cover used to have benches in it. This was a nice place to come and sit out of the rain and have a sandwich or a cup of coffee, that type of thing. I always thought it was quite nice. A bit of ironwork, you know. And clearly some effort was made into building this. And it is like proper solid as well. It's proper iron. Or steel. So, I'm not going to head back that way just now, because I spotted something while we were up there. Let's go across. Because this is a whole different type of explorer. I didn't expect this to be wide open. I need to be careful in here because it's quite mouldy, so let's put a mask on. Right. Hourstons.
Hourstons was opened by David Hourston in 1896 and was Ayr's first department store. His sons took over the business upon his death in 1917, by which time it had become established as one of the largest retail draperies in Scotland, and it was famed for its tea rooms, smoking rooms and rooftop garden. In 1949, the store was bought by House of Fraser and rebranded as Arnott's. The original building was extended in the early 1960s, with the addition of a large 3-storey wing to the back and a further 4-storey wing adjoining this. The store traded as Arnott's up until 1989, when it was sold again and reverted to the Hourstons name. The shop continued to do well during the peak periods of the 90s and early 2000s, with customers enjoying its quirky, are you being served type atmosphere. By this point it was one of the go-to places in Ayr for things such as clothing, accessories and furniture, with everything being available under one roof. However, by the 2010s the spectre of online shopping had emerged, and despite best efforts, the store entered a decline, with customer numbers gradually falling away as more people embraced internet shopping. In early 2019, it was announced that the store was to close, with a loss of jobs for all 83 staff. After 123 years of trading, this came as a massive blow to the town, and it was symbolic of the wider decline of high street retail. Along with the Arran Mall, Hourstons was to form part of the leisure centre and then latterly the Living Well village plans. However, with neither of these coming to fruition, the building is sat derelict and decaying, awaiting its fate. The council has made their intention clear that the rear section will be demolished in the near future, but it's hoped that the listed frontage will be saved and included in any future plans.
The days are numbered in this place as well. They're planning to pull it down. Probably after the mall's gone. And this'll be a big job. It won't happen overnight, that's for sure. The skylights are gone. The trouble is this place got utterly trashed after it shut. I'm guessing the doors are screwed. Aye, there's no glass. And the top floor of Hourstons. A safe. I was actually in here a couple of years ago. I don't remember seeing this. Let's see if it opens. No chance. It's a heavy thing though, isn't it? I'm guessing the demolition folk will enjoy the scrap value of that. Let's get some pictures. I've got lots of pictures of this place anyway, but it's kind of one of them that is just quite legendary in the area. A nice big beam there for lifting stock in, or heavy goods. That's probably how that safe got in here. Now I'll not step into the doorway in case I'm seen. Some interesting graffiti. It goes out into the roof. Yeah. Let's take a picture through this. There's a telephone exchange. quite a big one, a PBX distribution frame. Guessing this was the server distribution. Is this the exchange? Looks like it. BT. Maybe not. Post office telephones, that's an old reference to the days before privatisation. What's that? Alcatel Omniplex office. There we go. Right, let's go down. Oh, one last thing, which we never looked at. Try not to make noise in these places if I can avoid it. This is the lift. One of many in this building, I believe. It's a nice bell. Look at that. Hourstons shopping bag. I used to see everybody walking about with these. It was the place to come in here. No trip to here was complete without a trip to Hourstons. Let's go down a level. So this is the only staircase up to this bit, because it was a staff only area. So it wouldn't have met standards for the public with one staircase. It's another safe. Again, I don't remember seeing these before. I guess it would make sense to have a safe on every floor, perhaps, for a department store. Now, this is really stripped now. I was last in here a couple of years back. A lot of the interior was still here. Some of it had been stripped. Most of it was just lying in piles. You see the water problems in this building. Again, just being wary of alarms. I've not seen anything or heard any. Another lift. So this is the famous Hourstons sign. This gives you an idea of how much stuff they sold in here. All sorts of things, clothing, furniture. They had a restaurant, haberdashery, all kinds of things, lighting, gifts, jewellery, hats, rugs. As I say, it was really the place to come in here. That's a toilet, I think. It's just a toilet. Just a room. That's interesting, that shutter wasn't down before, that was open. I'm guessing they secured the place a bit better at some point. escalator. All these old signs. We'll go down there in a minute. That's the ground floor. I want to do that one last, in case there's an alarm. It's the stairs as well. Let's have a quick look at the stairs. It's the main staircase down. They've rigged this up with work lights. So this is the front. Trying not to make noise if I can avoid it. Again, very stripped. Not a lot left. Lovely little atrium, glass roof. Quite a nice space before all the, nice little light before all the guns on it got on it. So I think they maybe painted that. Another staircase. Tram park. It's just water pouring through this place now. Whoa. Okay, this is a wooden floor. That looks out into Alley Street. This is the kitchen for the old restaurant, which was in here at one time. Surprised this is still here. I thought it would have been dumped by now. Scrapped. Maybe they're just going to wait until they demolish. What's this? There's a freezer. Or a fridge. Remember this before this went out into the road. Oh, maybe not. That needs a broom cupboard. Or a toilet. Maybe it was... Is it here? Not this one. I'm not going in there. Pigeons. This room is quite nice. I think this was an old staff room, maybe. Look at the fireplace. I'm hoping stuff like that gets kept. Another little fireplace, just keep that. What a room. A couple of freezers. What's in here? Is it just another way? It's just another way out. Right. Will not bother with those stairs. See, another way up. I'll go this way. Keep away from the window. Around here. Actually, this is interesting. This is a lift that's been covered over. That's very cool. I actually remember this lift being in operation because it played music, and it always played the same music. Traditional lift music, as it were. It's the call button. Right, let's go down the stairs. This is a special staircase. Look at the tiles. My God. They're just beautiful. All this just sitting rotting away in the middle of the town. I mean, look at that. That one, like. So that's the roof access, that's it. Remember this. Interesting switches. Opens. There we go, out into the roof. So I don't think anybody can see us. Out into the roof of Hourstons. Now, not go out here because I will be seen. Yeah. Look at this staircase. Again, it'll be an absolute travesty if this is lost to the demolition. But if they decide to demolish the old part along with the newer part, 60s part, then it'll just all go. What's this bit? Boiler room of some kind. An old toilet. It's been well and truly scrapped. Another door barricaded. Right, let's head down. There's going to be wary of sensors down here. I'll take a quick pause. I didn't think I'd get in here. Because of the situation it's in. But it seems the security's not quite as good as I thought it would be. Which, wanting to do and explore is quite a good thing. Oh jeez. Right. I think this was menswear department at one time. The front windows, again, I'll not walk in front of them. It's a bad idea. There's that lift again. Staircase down. Maybe the lift was only blocked at the top floor. Is that staircase that we saw from above? Ah, this is the bit I remember. Men's grooming. Little restroom. Looks like folks have been having a party in here, maybe. Another room at the front. I can actually hear people talking outside. lovely fireplace. Chunk of stone. Oh, yeah. Boiler stripped. Fridge freezers. Dishwasher. The roof access. Weird little toilet. Bigger toilet bathroom. Fire door, I think. Locked. That's that staircase we saw earlier. Changing rooms. It's mouldy in here, stinks. Clearance sale. That's the back shop. Staircase to the ground floor. And that also goes to the basement. So there's the Birdcage Boutique, apparently. Good camera dome. I don't think we have to worry about that too much. And this looks like it's been boarded off at one point. Back on the shop floor again. So there's the front. This was menswear, I'm pretty sure. Again, very stripped shop floor. Last time I was in here there was a mirror on one of the columns and I saw myself in it and I jumped out of my skin. When you come in these places yourself, it's puts you on edge a little bit. The escalators. I used to have great fun going up and down those as a kid. There's one that goes to the ground floor, which we'll go to in a minute. There's that fire escape at the back I was talking about. So not a heck of a lot to see in this bit. Just a big open space. A famous shop. Aye, there's that goods lift again. Right, ground floor. Next there's one last little bit up here. I think, where's that, the bit that we've just been in? It's quite a confusing layout, this, because it's an old building and a newer building joined together. Oh no, we were just in here. Looking out to the Arran Mall. Main stairs. Oh, I thought it was taped shut. I find that to be quite a good way of lighting pictures. Shining the torch up at the ceiling. Phone's trying to facially recognise the models. Be careful here, because there might be an alarm, so go to the bag first. Seeing this Edinburgh crystal. we came in. This is a door out into the yard at the back. It's screwed shut, as you can see. Wow, this is trashed. Jeez. So this is the loading bay. Goods would have come in that door. That's the lift. Mess. It's just a store. Hi, this is the goods lift. The Glasgow lifts. But what a mess this is now. Much worse than a couple of years back. Full of rubbish. So the last bit is at the front. Actually, I'll tell a lie. There's a little staff room at the back. Let's go and have a look at this first. Not that one. Yeah, I was down here. So this is actually a way out. So the sensor there, and keep away from that. Staff room. But I'll go back in the shop first. Have a quick look. Last look around. There's still a basement to go as well. I'm going to try and steer to the right hand side here. It doesn't come through here. Yeah, it did. Down to low light. Just being wary. So this is the stairs to the basement. This bit, incidentally, was shoes, I believe. If I remember rightly, this is where all the shoes are. To the left of the shop as you came in. It sounds like there's water leaking down here. This is the basement. Remember these IBM PCs, Intel Pentium, Windows 2000 professional, very modern. Another Hourstons bag. Poo-pourri, go before you go toilet spray, do you remember that? Oh, this is horrible. Oh man. Oh jeez, just water pouring in. Burst pipes. Yeah, I'm not going to venture any further into that. That's a mess. I don't know what the state of the electrics is in here. not sensible to go wading through water in abandoned buildings. You don't know if there's live cables. Oh gee. Yeah. The boiler room. Jeez. Just flooded. Wow. This was absolutely bone dry last time I was here. Now it looks like this. So anyway, let's get out of here. Back up the stairs. Stock room. Sprinkler valves. Remember these? Interesting. Screwed. Steel sheeted. This is the front. Just going to be very careful here. It's all the brands. Cash desk, Hourstons bags again. Point of sale unit. The card reader shop closed in 2019, so it was still reasonably modern. Try and get some pictures in the front of the shop because I didn't do this last time. I'm not going to walk straight into that bit because last time I was in there an alarm went off. So somehow think it's not going to be a problem this time. So maybe just go very carefully and have a quick look. God, it's soaking. It was last time I was here, I think it was one of those derelict type alarms that was maybe in here. It made me jump though. I didn't see it. God, it's soaked. It's absolutely soaking in here. Look at this. Just flooded. Horrible mess. So this is the other stairwell to the basement. Really nice and flashing my torch about a bit. But I've seen most of it now, so I'm not so bothered if I get chucked out. Yeah, so this is the other side of the basement that we were in a few minutes ago. And again, I'm not going to go wading through that because it's just a soggy, horrible, damp hole. There's not a lot to see, it's just full of this racking. So let's go back up. Have a quick look at the front. Low light now because it's right out into the street. Lovely toilet. See, I think we're okay here. If there was an alarm, it would surely have gone off by now. Perfume, oh, it's a bit soft there. Perfume stands lots of mould. Just going to go completely dark for a minute. This is the front window. Front window, Hourstons. We used to do a cracking Christmas display in here every year. It was always a bit of a highlight of coming to the town at Christmas, was seeing the Christmas display. This is right out into the street. That's the doors. The other window. Famous Hourstons window. Board. Okay, that's Hourstons pretty much done. Oh yes, this is it, the famous lift. It's a lift, as Benno would say. I'd love to step in that and draw a bulb in there, but I don't think that's a good idea. So let's get out of here. I'll go out that other door you saw earlier. Security cameras in operation. Love it. So yeah, still on Hourstons, I guess. Let's have a quick look in there. This is just going to be escalator, I think. What's this? Oh, a little office. It's like Harry Potter's office, under the stairs. This is interesting. This is the weird little bit at the back. It's almost like a door, that, isn't it? That's just the plaster. Pigeons make me jump every time. Oof, it's a gnarly staircase. Do we go up there? There's an office. Gents' toilet. Surprisingly undestroyed. It's an old sign, isn't it? Look at that. Nothing much to see there. The kids left their bag. So that just goes back up to where we were previously. Just have a quick look in here. It's a staff area. Not a lot to see. Very mouldy ladies' toilet. Lovely. What's on in Hourstons? Not very much. Pigeons and damp. Security. Warning. This is security, isn't it? Keys. Keys. Security would have been a big deal in this place. There's so much stock and cash. One last door. Not a lot to see in this bit. Along here, there's the old Hourstons sign. It's a shame. It used to be up on the wall. So I don't mind too much of what I'm seeing now. Right, let's go. Get some pictures of them all. Really is a shame. That was a furniture shop. Not a lot to see in that one. See? Hourstons. Let's take a picture of the sign. The famous sign. Next to the open door. Cool.